Hey, or sorry, gals. I broke my coffee mug right before this. First mug I've broken in so long. I'm Brian,
And I'm Brad.
and today we are reviewing. You've already seen the title, but I'll let Brad say it because this is his choice,
It is Bernie.
starring YouTube sensation Jack Black.
And Twitch sensation Matthew McConaughey.
Was he on Twitch for what?
I have no idea. I'm sure he was on there at some point in time. I can't imagine him not being on there at some point.
Really, you Matthew McConaughey on Twitch? Let's see, because that is something I would be shocked at.
I had to imagine he was on some kind of political thing. I feel like he has to be. He had to have been on Twitch or something.
Matthew McConaughey on stream. Uh, Beer, video games, TV. This is February 19th, 2017. The broadcaster has indicated that this channel is intended for mature subscribers. I'm not going to scrub through this and figure out where it just looks like some three shitters playing a game. No Matthew McConaughey in sight. Matthew McConaughey in Reign of Fire. Maybe that's what it was.
I have no idea, but I could imagine he was on some. I mean, if AOC did it, trying to think of some other famous people that are like actually famous, not internet famous.
Yeah.
Did it. I'm sure he had to have been on there. If not, he was on Joe Rogan. Was probably streamed at one point in time on Twitch. So there you go. Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Ergo.
Yeah. He's been on Twitch, YouTube, one of those somewhere, somehow. I think Jack Black is like the one celebrity who's been embraced by YouTube. Everyone else, I think they've cringed.
And TikTok. I mean, he's on TikTok quite a bit too. So
Yep. TikTok, Instagram. uh what's his thing? I forget his channel name, but you know, the Will Smiths and Dwayne Johnsons and Kevin Hart's, everyone's like, jeez, talk show hosts.
Snoop Dogg, talk show host now.
Oh, everyone would embrace Snoop Dogg as a YouTuber. But Jack Black's YouTube channel is called, it's something gaming, Jablinski Games. Anyway, well, how would you describe this movie in a non-spoilery
in
way?
A non-spoiler way. And this is the first time I've watched this movie. I actually saw this on a list of
Really?
yeah.
Oh, I thought you suggested it as like like you loved it.
No, I was looking at some lists of underappreciated movies, and this was on the list, well, on quite a few of the lists that I looked at. And then I watched the trailer for it, and I was like, "This is weird." Like, um, but I would describe this movie as a dark comedy mockumentary.
Hmm.
Like, it wants to be a documentary, but it's not at the same time.
Did you watch the credits?
um, I don't think I looked at it that hard. Was there a bonus scene at the end or something?
It had more clips of all the interviews, and I'm
Oh yes,
pretty
yes,
sure.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did see those. Yep.
And the whole song, I think, I mean, I knowing Richard Linklater's reputation, this is the first Richard Linklater movie I've ever seen. I believe. I was just expecting all the people who were talking. I was like, oh, he chose real people first over actors, or like maybe underappreciated actors, people who didn't get cast in main things. And then with those credits, I'm convinced that those are just the real people. And he did interviews and then like did
yes
a biopic for Jack Black.
Yes. I think it was most of them were real people from the real city that actually knew both Bernie and I'm drawing a blank on her name, but
Marjorie.
Marjorie, yeah. Knew both of them in real life.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be shocked if anyone wasn't the real person, because this, at least with the credits. Yeah, and what is it? I had some notes. I'll get it really quick. But
Ooh,
yeah,
you're trying to beat me on the sticky notes?
no, I've like 10 things.
Oh,
Um,
perfect.
I thought it was hilarious for Matthew McConaughey to be in this film because he was the one person, maybe because of his stature now, where and like maybe it's, and I consider Jack Black to be, similar ilk as McConaughey. I don't think they're different tiers of actors or anything, but Jack Black just has that everyman quality. I feel
Yeah,
like McConaughey has changed from the romantic McConaughey. I couldn't resist the romantic comedy pretty boy to the ooh, you got chops, boy.
yeah.
Um,
The failure to launch to the Interstellar.
I saw Failure to Launch. It was delightful. It was
Yeah, no,
it
I'm
was
saying,
it
but
was all
like,
right.
but I'm
Yeah,
saying like he went from like the rom coms of failure to launch to things now
and
of gritty taste of Dallas Buyers Club, Interstellar, Mud, stuff, movies like that.
what is it? True Detective season 1 with Woody Harrelson. Um, yeah, I mean,
Sing two, because we gotta put that in there.
can't believe that got rated better than The King's Man. Um, it like he's been in Fool's Gold. I was working in a movie theater at the time, and I saw like 5 minutes. I was like, oh, this is trash. Cool.
Yeah,
But
it's
also Ghost of Girlfriend's Past, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days,
yep,
classics.
the Lincoln
Um,
Lawyer,
I've
Garrett Marshall,
heard. What was it? There's one where I forget the other one, but
Rain of Fire.
no, there was one where he is some criminal thing, and it used to be a play, and he makes a woman do fellatio on a chicken wing, and I forget the name of it. And she was actually invited to be in the play originally, and she's like doing that every night on stage. Oh no, that's gonna be a pass. But when the movie came, she was like doing it once, maybe two takes. Deal.
Gotcha.
And I forget what it was.
$1 million.
um, but Matthew McConaughey kind of sticks out a little more. you know?
Yeah, and but I would argue the other way. I would argue that Jack Black sticks out more, and we're going to keep this under 2 minutes. Don't fact check us on that. Um,
don't take my catchphrase. It's trademarked.
just because like Jack Black is known for a lot of things, comedy, just kind of the way he presents himself, but he like walks different, talks different, like his style of comedy isn't the same through this movie. It's a really different role for him, which I think was really, really good for him. It's underrated movie, so that's kind of bad, but I think it was really good that he did a movie like this to kind of broaden himself a little bit more than while still staying in comedy, but broaden his scope on that.
Yeah, that's interesting because I didn't feel like this movie was a comedy. You know what I mean? Like it didn't hit that way for me
It
at
didn't hit
all.
it didn't hit comedy like haha funny
Yeah,
joke, but did it did kind of make you go ooh, kind of like chuckle a few times, I'm sure.
yeah. But I get what you mean. Like in Jumanji or like King Kong or School of Rock. I'm looking at his IMDb right now. Um, but you said he stuck out in
Yeah,
the casting more than McConaughey.
for me, he changes everything that you know about Jack Black. I mean, the
Yeah.
outright funny, he's not outright funny.
Hmm.
He stands up straighter, walks like a little like straight-legged, like almost very professional, like he was like professionally trained on how to walk with like a board taped to his back. Um he just presents himself differently in this whole movie. Through part of this movie, I almost forgot it was Jack Black.
Yeah, yeah. No, let me clarify what I meant. Seeing him around the normal people, it felt like he fit in like a puzzle piece. And then when I saw Matthew McConaughey with the normal people, I was like, he's he's a little taller than everybody else. He's a little prettier than everybody else. He doesn't quite fit, does he?
But he's
Which
also
I
like
think makes sense for the politician.
the politician. district attorney.
Is that what I forgot what his title is.
Yeah, district attorney or some kind of attorney.
Gotcha. All right. What other kind of movies have you seen to give people an idea of if they'd like this or not?
Ooh, I mean that's pretty tough. Man, I cannot think of any other movies kind of down this rabbit hole.
I'm gonna look up one. It's with Elijah Wood. I think it's the hardest I've ever laughed in a movie, but you only laugh like once.
Well, you laughed very hard, but for a very short time.
Yeah, but oh, what is it? I'll keep looking. It was a while back. Oh, Elijah Wood was in Tron Uprising. That's weird. Say something because I'm still looking.
Yeah. This is it's weird just because it wants you to believe that everything is real, but it's not real. It wants you to believe that it's a documentary, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really tough. It falls into a really really cool niche somewhere in there. But I don't know.
All right, I'm not finding the one I'm looking for, but let me say something like Celeste and Jesse Forever, or Dan in Real Life, but with less highs and lows. Does that make sense? Like this movie feels very at the same energy level.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole time. Like there's no. Yeah, I'm sure in the trailer it shows a crime happens, and when it's coming close to whether that crime will be revealed or not, there's no like heist aspect or espionage aspect or like tension. It's just happening.
And yeah, I mean, you feel a little suspense, but I mean, it's not like there. It doesn't feel like there's a high stakes at this juncture. It just feels like, oh, okay, well, are they? Oh, that's it.
You could
other
have
than that, I would say you're right. It stays very, very. I'm not going to say flat, but it stays very the same all the way through. And
yeah, it's like
it plays to the advantage of what they're discussing, but not necessarily. You're not going to jump out of your seat, or you're gonna buy the entire seat when you go see this movie.
Yeah, you're more observing facts or observing events as opposed to being taken on a ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're following the train and not jumping off from car to car.
Yeah. That's a good. I like that. Yeah, anything else you want to say before we get into spoilers?
No. I think I'm good.
All right. Well, that is your last warning. If you want to give a suggestion, go on Instagram at Movies Are Dope, or on Spotify. There's a suggestion bubble under every episode, and we'll be posting a Marbles on Stream video where we try to review 20 movies very quickly before the Marbles finish to choose our next swatch of movies that we'll be reviewing. But that's your last warning. Spoilers. And now that that's out of the way, what's the first thing you want to talk about, Brad? He kills people.
Yeah, he kills people. I would say the rating for this movie for me, I would say is a joint.
We didn't say that. Oops.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Spoiler. Right. I would say it's a joint. I would say this movie, it's solid. I don't think it's gonna blow anybody away. I don't think it's not gonna kill anybody, but I can say stuff like that because we're in spoiler section.
Yeah, I'd say joint too. I knew I was missing something before saying that spoiler. Oh well. But yeah, I was. This felt like a very interesting one-time watch.
Yes,
which is great. It's on Peacock. Ah, shit, I should have said that. If anyone wants to watch it, it's on Peacock. I think it's on YouTube. I think it's on IMDb TV. And now spoilers. I'm just gonna edit that little part just so people can know the rating and see it or know where to watch it for free. But
Um,
yeah, what's the first spoilery thing you want to say about it?
so this movie centers around Jack Black's character being a assistant funeral home director.
Hmm.
So he does a lot with the dead bodies and preparing them for the afterlife. So before they started, and then he eventually befriends this really rich, mean old lady, and then gets to a breaking point and kills her, hides her in a fridge. Matthew McConaughey's character comes through, believes that he's the one that did it, finds the body with, I think it was her granddaughter, um, breaks into the house, finds the body in the freezer. The entire town kind of knows it's him, but doesn't want to either believe or thinks that he should basically get off scot-free because of how mean she was or how she deserved it, blah, blah, blah. So that's what the entire plot centers around. So I think it's really interesting that before Jack Black took on this role, he went and saw the real Bernie and asked for his permission to play him um, in this movie. He says he didn't want to feel that guilt that he was going to get playing this character had he not gotten permission to play him, even though this guy got 99 to life or 99 years, no probation. So he's never getting out.
Did you see
But
the very end of the credits?
well, I don't think so. I don't think I made it that far. I think I skipped through after they stopped with the interviews.
It showed it was after the song about the whole ordeal, and then it showed the main guy talking for a little bit. It's muted, so you don't hear what he's saying. And then it pans over, and he's kind of like loosey goosey. And it pans over to Jack Black, who's just like sitting there, like looking, just enraptured, just looking
He's
at him.
he's an interesting guy. I watched a couple of YouTube videos, just kind of like the Jack Black interviews and stuff like that for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed a couple clips of them interviewing the real Bernie, and he's an interesting guy. I mean, I would say Jack Black got some of his mannerisms pretty well, but I mean, Jack Black is like 5 feet shorter than this guy is. This guy is so tall compared to Jack Black. And then that was one of the things that I guess Bernie had mentioned was that how short he was, and Jack says, "Oh, don't worry, the camera's at a couple inches. It's movie magic." So, but yeah, I mean, I think it was really cool that they were able to pull in some of these people to do interviews and like make it that mockumentary style.
um, yeah, interestingly, most of my notes are just writing what I hate in general. Like this was just reminding me, and most of this is from like stuff that I've learned from Adam Ruins Everything, which is like I hate the funeral business. It's so like predatory and manipulative and
Yeah,
overpriced and
and he
unnecessary.
does a really good job selling those caskets, though.
Yeah. Yeah. But like things like embalming, 1,000% unnecessary. You would get exactly the same effect by putting someone in a fridge for a few days. Absolutely unnecessary to pump their blood out and put formaldehyde in their veins. Nope. Don't need it. Just poisons the ground.
Hmm.
That was first used when they were carting around Abraham Lincoln's body after he was shot, which was necessary because refrigeration back then was not a thing that you could do like mobile, and they were carting him around for months for people to see. Necessary in that case. The time between our death and us being in the ground normally, not in movies like this, not in scenarios like this movie shows, not that long. I hate using religion for profit. When they started putting all the crosses around as like another form of manipulation, and seeing Bernie's like gold what do they call it in Kingsman? That pinky ring, the signet ring with the cross. I'm just like, you're just in general. That's too fancy. You should be a servant to your community. You don't need that signet ring.
Well, I mean, and I guess in that side of things, he does a pretty good job. And we're talking about the character Bernie, whether this happened in real life or if it was just in the movie. But he does a really good job taking that money. Yes, some of it is spent on him, but they said he always gave away too much. He was a serial buyer, and then he would
Yeah,
just turn around and give all that stuff away for free.
yeah,
So I mean, at least on that side of thing, on that side of the coin, it's he's buying the stuff for good.
yeah,
Yeah, he has a fancy watch or a fancy ring, but I mean, he's still doing a lot for good for the community.
yeah. Um, and I think it was just the interviews. But I just wrote, I hate gossip. I fucking hate gossip. Just the day that I'm a wine mom, just sitting around like gossiping about everybody in my community, fucking God take me. I'm atheist, but like just no, do something more productive. At least for me, I hate gossip. Just like if there's something serious that you need to be like tell a friend. I remember a friend was like casting and he had considered someone for director, and I was just like, okay, you want to collaborate with this guy? This is the terms he told me if I was going to move in with him and pay half the rent and just sleep on his couch. He was like, "You'll be, I'll be the only one to let you in and out of the unit, and blah blah, and you can't have your own set of keys." And he was just like, "Oh, that's weird." I was like, "It might not be a good relationship." And I did not take that person up on their offer. I continued sleeping in my car because it seemed weird. Um, but outside of that, it's just like, just I just don't like gossip.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, did you see what they did with their lawn? Like, so tacky. Fuck off. I also wrote, I hate people who take advantage of the elderly, which is weird. Like the first half of this movie, tell me if you felt the same way. The first half of the movie, I was like, fuck Bernie. Like, stop taking advantage of, stop targeting these older women. And then, like, as she was nasty, I was like, oh, Bernie. I felt so sorry.
Just
felt,
do it already.
No, I felt, when it happened, I was like, probably not the best choice, but I get it. Also, everyone should watch I Care a Lot. That's on my list. It's on Netflix. And then I fucking hated Marjorie's reason for giving Bernie her full inheritance. I was like, the kids have full lives. Make an effort, Marjorie. Treat them well. Invite them out. You're so rich. Go fly out. Just be like, hey, can I fly out and visit, or can I fly you guys over here and visit? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Like the entitlements.
Yeah. Once you're that far though, like once you're that far down the entitlement trail, it's hard to see light on either side.
Yeah, it's hard to see the light when your head's that far up your own ass.
Yeah. The only thing that really bothered me in this movie, well, I guess there's a couple things, but the biggest thing is this took place in 96. The whole murder thing. And it really bothers me that he had an iPhone through this entire movie.
Did it say 1996?
I believe it did in the beginning.
Oh.
But this whole movie takes place in 96 and he's got an iPhone. And it's just like, come on. We can do better.
Oh no. All right. When did Bernie happen movie? And when did the iPhone come out? 2007 for the iPhone.
96. That was the murder.
Is that when the movie is supposed to be happening? Yeah, it explores the 1996 movie or murder of 81-year-old millionairess. Okay, Marjorie. Yeah, it says in the plot in small town Carthage, Texas in 1996. Eh, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Uh, but I mean,
And they
the
did
whole,
mention a pager,
yeah,
like your phone. He had a flip phone. Oh,
yeah. And he had an iPhone.
yeah, he didn't cover it up for 7 years or not 7 years, more than 7 years, because it would have been 11 years for the first iPhone to come out. Because he has a
Yeah,
flip
I think,
phone when the pager's happening, and
mhm,
then he has the iPhone when the money guy calls blocked.
yeah.
So
Um, yeah. And I think she was only in the freezer, if I remember, it was like 6 or 8 months. I mean, which is a long time, but I think she was in there 6 or 8 months.
9 months. I remember
nine
because I
months.
was like pregnancy. And I literally just finished watching it like 2 seconds ago. Don't fact check that. Don't fact check that.
You record these
uh,
things backwards. It might have been.
I don't tenet the shit. Um, yeah, I'm trying to see just on the IMDb of when they found out. Yeah, I'm not seeing quickly what when he was caught. But yeah, they did say 9 months. So Richard, Richard Linklater.
Wah, wah.
Eh.
Let's see. Imprisoned to life. Yeah, I'm trying to find out what the day was that he was found guilty or sentenced.
Well, I see imprisonment and release shortly after entering the Texas Department of Criminal Justice in 1999. TD, so Bernie, was attacked by fellow inmates. Um, so he was in jail at least in 1999. Wait, it says until May 2014, he was serving a life sentence. Oh,
Oh, did he get out?
they some visiting judge and Davidson. I don't know who Davidson is. Um, allowed Bernie to be released from prison that month on $10,000 bail after his attorney Jody Cole had learned that Bernie had been sexually abused as a child for multiple years by an uncle. Cole theorized that Bernie shot Nugent while in a brief dissociative episode brought on by their. Okay, wait. Does he go back to jail? Was allowed released from prison on $10,000 bail. Um, this Wikipedia is not great to skim.
Between the time of his release in 2014 and the resentencing hearing in April of 2016, um, Bernie resided in Austin, Texas, at the garage apartment of filmmaker Richard Linklater,
He lived with Richard Linklater?
who offered to assist him. This was a part of his condition of his release.
Wait, is he back in jail now?
The resentence trial began April 6, 2016.
I mean, the film was in 2011, so he's back in jail.
Yes, with a sentence of 99 years or life. So if he lives to 100 and something, he could get out.
Dude, Linklater is balls. I mean, well, or stupid.
Yeah, a little bit of both, probably. What other movies has this director done?
Oh, a shit ton. I mean, he made Slacker, which inspired Kevin Smith to make Clerks or Clerk. Yeah, Clerks.
Ooh, Dazed and Confused. There you go.
He also did
School of Rock.
Oh wait, he did Dazed and Confused?
He was the director, writer, and producer for Dazed and Confused.
Okay, then I saw that.
There's the Matthew McConaughey.
I also saw A Scanner Darkly. He's done Boyhood, which I own but still haven't seen. He did the whole Before series, like Before Midnight and
Before Sunset.
Before Sunset. I think Before Sunrise or something.
Yes. Cool.
Um,
And he's got a movie coming out this year, 2022, Apollo 10 and a half.
uh,
Oh, guess who it's starring?
Matthew McConaughey,
Nope, the other one.
McConaughey Matthew.
Yep,
Is it Jack Black?
it is Jack Black.
Who? Yeah, he did
Yeah,
Slacker.
just he really. It seems like he really likes Jack Black, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, he's also worked a lot with Ethan Hawke or Ethan. What's his name? Um, with Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy in those movies. I mean, Ethan Hawke was in Boyhood, and you know the story of that. They filmed it like over the course of 21 years with the same actor, kid actor, who came back. And yeah, he's just very indie.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know this guy by name. That's why I asked. But yeah,
There,
that's crazy.
yeah, there's a documentary I have. Oh, school. Did he direct School of Rock?
Yeah, he did.
Holy shit! What? That's just such a different vibe from the other. Okay, so I've seen 4 of his films. Wow, that is such a different vibe. Because like from everything, like School of Rock is the most mainstream 4 quadrant Jack Black movie I could imagine. And
Yeah,
the guy who directed this, Boyhood, Slacker, uh, what were the other ones that I saw? Oh no, he produced.
the Before series.
Yeah, I think he. Oh no, he did direct a Scanner Darkly. Scanner Darkly. Damn, that was. I'm shocked that he directed School of Rock. That's awesome.
Yeah, he was also in a couple of acting roles too, including Beavis and Butthead Do America, Spy Kids.
Oh, he was in Spy Kids.
Yeah, he was the cool spy in Spy Kids.
That makes so much sense considering Robert Rodriguez did those films. I want to see Richard Linklater, Spy Kids. Come on, show me the images.
Yeah, I mean, I without looking him up, I would know this, but this director. If you would have said, "Oh yeah, he did School of Rock," that would have been I'd been like, okay, and
I mean, School of Rock is a fucking banger.
oh yeah, no, it's fantastic. I mean, I've probably seen that movie at least a dozen times, but if you would have said, yeah, he's only done School of Rock in this movie, I'd have been like, ooh, not good.
Why
But
not
he also,
good?
but he also did Bad News Bears too, so I guess that's good too.
Never saw
Oh yeah, Billy Bob Thornton.
it. I've heard. Oh, the remake. Gotcha.
Yeah, the remake.
Yeah, he. So I guess I've seen 4 of his films now. What were they? Scanner Darkly, School of Rock, Dazed and Confused, and this. Weird, weird, weird
Yeah.
combo. I love it.
Um, one of the Matthew McConaughey's character, Buck Davidson.
Mhm.
Um, the real life Buck was a little nervous that they were going to do this movie. He said he wishes they wouldn't do the movie or hadn't have done the movie, but since they did do the movie, he's glad that somebody as good looking as Matthew McConaughey was was him. He says he's one of many things, but good looking is not one of them.
Oh, why was he afraid that of this being made?
Just the bad publicity. The bad publicity on the town, the focusing on the murderer kind of thing.
I could
He's
see that.
he does think that Bernie deserved a lesser crime. He doesn't believe that he should get life in prison. But
Yeah, for second-degree murder.
wouldn't it be first?
Well,
That would
first
be
isn't first degree premeditated?
uh,
I might be mixed up. What is the difference between
yeah.
first?
I would just think him picking up the gun and shooting her in the back. I couldn't imagine not being first. But I mean, if there's some legal technicality, then
So first degree murders are the most serious and punished accordingly, involving premeditated murder. second degree murders are the next step down, but still involve intent to harm or kill. So those are in the moment. So, you know, this is basically at worst second degree murder because, well, he said he imagined her death. That doesn't help.
I mean, he everything.
But he didn't think about killing her, you know. So I'd say it's at least at probably at best second degree, or no, at worst second degree. Home run, but at best it's a psychotic episode where he needs specialized care and he lost consciousness. It seemed like he did, at least in the movie.
What do you think of their defense? That he was a good guy. He didn't mean to do it. He kept her body perfectly preserved to give her a funeral, when the time was right.
I could see the argument. Well, the stuffing in the freezer doesn't. I don't know. I guess
but he's preserving the body.
I'm more connected with the he didn't try to dump the body, although that just seems complicated. Like especially getting into a plane. One, how do you keep it flying? A normal tiny plane. I don't assume that there's like autopilot for those. How do you get it from your car into there in a busy area on camera? I don't really buy that. I'm 50-50. I'm like, yeah, he never tried to dispose of it. That's fair. I guess he could have put it in the trunk and driven it to like a river and tried.
I mean, for him, he's the perfect person to do something like that. I mean, one, nobody suspects you of doing something like that, so it'd be easy for you to, bury it.
He could,
he could have waited for a closed casket and put two bodies, one casket. He had a pilot's license. He could have dropped her off in the ocean. I mean, I'm sure he has friends that are that do the burning.
All these things cremation. Just have like witnesses,
Yeah.
Like I don't think he could have just dropped her out of a plane. That seems too complicated and like risky. Just for crashing the plane, and getting it on. But the other stuff, like putting her in a casket, well, that would be really hard during a funeral, like, all right, now we get the hearse. Now we do the Ocean's 11 and then we switch it out. And then, cremating might be the closest, but also like he's not the one who's going to cremate them himself. So witness again. I don't know. I mean, at least how it was portrayed, and you never know if that's the truth. I believe that it wasn't premeditated at the very least. 99 years, that's a lot. Especially since I've heard of other violent crimes getting a lot less.
Yeah.
I will say there's two quotes. One that I like really resonated, and then one which I was like, fuck you. And I don't know where the Boston accent. I channeled some Family Guy. Fuck you, Peter. The one that I resonated with was, we're all capable of that dark moment if we ever get angry enough. I was like, ooh. I actually believe that.
Yeah, I would say, everybody has that point where they would snap.
Yeah.
I don't think his was far enough. I mean, he was living a life of luxury. Yes, he could have just walked away and he would have been fine.
I would have preferred if he had tried doing I care a lot and putting her in a home and milking her for money. At least I'd be like, okay, well, he's an asshole. But like him still putting up with that, even though everything has his name on it and he controls everything. And if she does die, he gets all the inheritance. Like, to be in that position of power and still take shit because you're not presumably evil at heart, like that. Like I said, I started feeling for him when he was just her punching bag. Like,
yeah, but I mean, he could have just walked away.
yeah,
I mean, she could have paged for him. He could have just said, "Nope, turn off the pager." That would have been it. I mean, she probably would have found him, and whatever. But I mean, you have the power to walk away. I mean, he tried to get away the one time and got locked in, kind of. But
yeah, but I also understand that feeling of helplessness, like you can't, can't get away. Uh, you know, two people I would prefer not to have a relationship with are my mother and stepfather. And there were so many times before I like fully cut them off where it was just you just feel like an obligation to family of the blood is thicker than water, which ironically the origin of that, if I haven't said it already on here, is the blood of the coven is thicker than the water of the womb, meaning that the binds you make in friendship are stronger than familial bonds. But it got twisted when it got shortened. I get it. Get
those
it.
Americans. It's the Americans that keep shortening things. They make you jelly, don't they?
Shortening everything but our waistbands. But especially when you think of yourself as a good person who can be the better man, and just try to spread kindness or just be more mature. I can see how he could feel trapped. I just wish he had found a healthier way of getting out of there.
Yeah, not murdering this lady.
Yeah, although
I mean,
fuck her.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I was saying, I'm not gonna say
Also,
whether or not. I'm not gonna say whether or not she deserved it or not. But
I mean, when you say you're gonna stick up for his kind, fuck you. Fuck you. You know. um.
what was the second quote? Go ahead. Sorry.
The second one, which I was saying "fuck you" to, was no matter what the truth is, Bernie needs our prayers. Go fuck yourself. No matter what the truth, go fuck yourself. You can still have him in your prayers, but just acknowledge. I actually wrote. I actually admire the mayor guy. I don't know his title. Not prioritizing re-election over his duty to convict Bernie when he confronted the priest. It's like you just don't. You're forgetting that there's a part of him that killed somebody. That whole thing. I was like, ooh, we got introduced to him as someone who prioritizes re-election over all other things, and he's willing to rub everybody the wrong way because this is his duty. Like, shit, more please.
Was the mayor or the sheriff?
I don't know what his title was. Matthew Prettyface.
Matthew McConaughey. I think he was like the district attorney or something like that.
Yeah,
which is an electable official. So
yeah. I just wrote that down when I didn't remember his title, but I defer to you for the facts.
District, yes. District Attorney Danny Buck Davidson.
But if he truly only cared about re-election, he'd just say stupid shit to appease the masses and not go above and beyond to get him out of there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a case somewhere else. And I admired that. I was like, shit. Bernie seems like a nice guy. He seems like a net positive, or he has been a net positive for the community.
Yes.
Technically.
Yeah, I was gonna say people think he's net positive. Sure.
Yeah, he technically on the books he was net positive for the community, especially since some would consider it a positive that she died. you know, um, but like he needed to go to jail. He needed a trial. He needed a fair
Yeah,
trial, or the due process, and because he did something bad.
yeah.
Um,
And they had to take it out of the county because obviously his positivity in the county tainted everything.
yeah, I would have
So I
preferred not taking back the things like all the things he spent money on. Like, who gives a shit? Just fucking leave it.
yeah.
Um,
Um
it's spent already. The whole family's millionaires. The whole estate's going to him allegedly. Maybe I don't know. The movie Knives Out has me questioning if he actually got the inheritance.
I don't I feel like you can't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have, but I don't know. I don't know the law. Um, but I don't know. I would have, if everything that's been portrayed in this movie is completely true, I would say 10, 15 years and then just have someone supervising him for the rest of his life. Well, I don't know. That might trigger him again. But, or just put him in a mental health facility. Uh,
Yeah, non max.
yeah, some just mental health facility for the rest of his life, somewhere he can, maybe do some good, but not be like the Wikipedia article said, a prison where he could get assaulted. You know, um,
I guess he at prison he works in the what is that called? The
like,
church services and stuff like that, like the ministry of the church of the prison. So I mean, at least he's continuing on.
yeah,
So I
I
mean,
guess maybe you can have a net positive in the prison, considering the
see,
prisons generally just make everything worse down the line. Um, yeah, I don't know.
see Shawshank Redemption
Never
for the
seen
for the
that.
really
I swallowed my spit. No, but I've seen
wow.
all the references.
Okay,
Like
you've seen the
Family
movie.
Guy. No,
You've
all the
seen the movie.
references.
You've
um,
basically seen the movie. That's like the good side of things.
um,
You now see, was it America and Me for like the negatives, where you join a gang and then becoming like part of that gang when you leave prison, and then
oh,
go back to prison.
I saw that in Prison Break.
Yeah, and then go back to prison because you were in a gang
What's it
and
called?
go
America and Me?
America and Me or American and Me. I don't remember which one it is, but
Okay.
yeah, it's one of those gangster movies.
But yeah, main takeaway, still shocked that he directed School of Rock.
Yeah.
That makes
So
no sense to me.
American Me. So
American Me?
yes.
Okay.
It's about Italians going to prison, joining them, the Italian mob, stuff like that. And then when they get out, they're part of the mob. So Joe Pesci, right? I think. Trying to look at
You mean the guy from The Irishman with the weird skin?
Edward James Olmos. Almost.
Um,
Some of these people look so famous, and I just don't know who they are.
oh, is this all right. Oh, 1992.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long story short, Irishmen come over, get locked up, join the Irish mob, get out, do mob activities, go back,
New mob.
do mob.
I think the thing you'd recognize Edward James almost most from is Battlestar Galactica.
I can't say I've seen it.
I've only seen 2 episodes, but I
I
think
also have
that's
not seen Star Trek, so here I am.
Blade Runner. He was in the original Blade Runner,
Oh, there you go.
which we saw the sequel to. But yeah. Anyway, um, anything else for this movie?
All right, my time to shine. The budget of this film,
Oh, okay.
$6 million.
Yeah, not surprising knowing the filmmaker.
Yeah, I mean, I figured it was going to be a little higher. I figured it'd been closer to 15 million. Um, just because you got Jack Black, Matthew McConaughey, you're filming a couple different sets. You also have was it Shirley MacLaine or whatever? Who used to be a high paid actress. Um,
Yeah,
so I figured it'd been a little higher.
this is a movie that I'm guessing those three actors got points and immediately was sold for like 10, 15 million bucks. And they're like, good deal, everybody. Good job. you know, just based
What do you
on
mean?
Jack.
What do you mean
Hmm?
by that? What do you mean by that? Like
I'm guessing. Hmm?
you said they like whistled and 10, 15 million bucks.
Oh, sorry. No, let me enunciate. I'm guessing that this was made for 6 million. Those three actors uh, were given points based on like how much they sold the movie for. They make the movie, they sell it to the studios for like 10, 15 million dollars just on the advertising merit of Jack Black, McConaughey, and maybe the woman you just mentioned. I forgot her name already because my brain's garbage. Uh, and they made like they sell it for like 10, 15 million dollars, and they just give crisp high fives and like, good job, we didn't lose money on this. um, I wouldn't be surprised if McConaughey and Jack Black especially did this for zero money upfront.
Hmm. I mean, that'd be really interesting. I mean, just because it seems like Jack Black and Matthew McConaughey both have a relatively good relationship with this director. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, it'd be weird for, in my mind, saying Matthew McConaughey would work for free or work for a benefit later on down the line.
I mean, here, I'll get this. Aaron Eckhart and what else? He and Helena Bonham Carter did a movie together called oh, let me just look up. Aaron, sorry everybody. Aaron Eckhart. Wow, why did I just forget her name? What's her name? Helena Bonham Carter. Uh Conversations with other women. They in interviews said that they weren't paid anything. They like the way small budget films get big actors is they just offer them a huge number of points on the back end, and then you know uh, they do it for no money at the time because they're rich and famous. They just get to flex their acting muscles a shit ton. And then they get some profit on the back end. Uh, who is it? The Duplass brothers did that. Do that with their big actors. Like the Duplass brothers did Jeff at Home with Jason Segel and the guy who showed up in Stretch. Jeff at Home. Feel so bad. Jeff who lives at home. Why did I just click on that? Okay. And Ed Helms and
Oh,
Judy
okay.
Greer and Susan Sarandon. They're just actors, directors. Aaron Eckhart can be in The Dark Knight Rises, but I guarantee 90% of his time on that set is just sitting around waiting to flex his acting muscles for a pretty cool speech. But he's not going to be flexing the range of his acting abilities. Similar to how you said Jack Black. This is very out of type for him.
Yeah.
He's not getting offered $1 million to make this movie. He's getting offered $1 million to make School of Rock.
Yeah. I mean, it just to me that just blows my mind. Something like that. I mean, it was filmed in 22 days, so I mean, relatively quick.
Damn,
relatively quick.
Burning 6 million in 22 days. Shit, that's just
yeah. Well, part of it, I mean, that was principal photography was 22 days, so I mean, they still had to fly around, find places, rent them out, stuff like that. So
do the interviews and stuff.
Do the interviews. So I mean, I'm sure it took them longer than 22 days, but some of those interviews I bet happened during the set. Like, hey, you look cool. Why don't we come talk to you, old lady? You look like you actually knew the people. But the box office brought in 10 million. So
Nice.
didn't drown. I mean, it
Yeah,
probably broke even, maybe.
maybe. Yeah, it would depend on. I mean, if the budget's 6 million and then they make 6 million and then have points on the box office, then it's profitable or what? I don't know. I don't know. It just depends on how they financed it. They could have just gotten the $6 million straight up. Maybe given
Cash.
McConaughey and Jack Black each a million. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it for free upfront, because at least Jack Black, because rare opportunity for him to have this kind of part.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey plays this kind of character quite a bit, or I feel like he plays this kind of character quite a bit.
Actually, it'll
That
be. Go on. I'm just
I was
going
just
to.
say, just kind of that like loud, boisterous, like over the top kind of character, almost larger than life. I feel like he plays that character quite a bit nowadays.
Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah. Yes. All right. So this is important because who is it? Dave Bautista turned down the Suicide Squad so that he could be the main actor in Army of the Dead because he wanted to work with Zack Snyder, but more importantly, and he said this publicly, Hollywood didn't see him as a leading man. So it was good for his career to be in the main starring role in Army of the Dead. And the
I mean,
reason
I
I
think I would like to work with Zack Snyder. I think that'd be really fun.
think it would be interesting. And the whole time I'd be like, I'm not going to enjoy this movie. But the reason I say that is because even if Matthew McConaughey got no points and did this for free, it's a very important moment in his career because I think the non chick flick movies that were coming out before that were We Are Marshall and Tropic Thunder. But truly, like those were
Yeah.
2006, 2008. There's also like Ghost of Girlfriend's Past, which I said I liked in 2009, and then for 2 years nothing he was in came out until The Lincoln Lawyer, Bernie, Killer Joe, all in 2011. He also starred a
So
little bit in Eastbound and Down, 2010 to 2012.
so he was really trying to turn that page. He was really trying to turn that rom com out of rom com.
Yeah, so it was very important for a very important time in his career to change that up. And obviously, like Killer Joe and The Lincoln Lawyer, he had bigger roles, more main roles. But like this was part of that. And 22 Days, I'm sure it's almost. He probably was on set for 5 days at most. I could see him doing all his stuff in like
Yeah,
3 days.
Yeah, for how much he's in the movie, it's really just filmed in 1, 2, 3, like maybe 4 locations. You're
Yeah,
talking his office, the courtroom, a little bit out in the streets, and one time when he goes into what's her name's house to find the body. But
yeah,
really, yeah, you probably could have filmed all that in 3 days,
yeah. I need
realistically.
to. I need to finish Eastbound and Down then because I did not know that he was in this. He also played two characters, two different characters in Eastbound and Down. If you haven't
Yes.
seen Eastbound and Down, it's Danny McBride with the director of Observe and Report, and it's fucking wild. It's just psychotic. um, but yeah, then after that, he did The Paperboy, Mud, Magic Mike, uh, Dallas Buyers Club, Wolf of Wall Street, True Detective. Like that, all those titles that I said were from 2011 to 2014. Interstellar 2014.
Or was that 14 or 15? Yeah, I
It
just
says
rewatched that
14.
movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh, I just rewatched it for the second time now.
Nice.
It's really good. I really like it. It's classic, and again, Christopher Nolan, because I know I've talked about him enough on this podcast.
You don't
Classic.
often.
I think it's like the 4th episode now I brought up his name.
Well, compared to me talking about Kingsman, Charlie Bartlett, and I forget what the third one was that you said in the last episode. By the way, I don't know if I showed you this, but
Oh, nice.
yep.
You were branded.
My second one. But
It would have been cooler if it was a gold, roughly circle-ish gold.
I tried making it gold. This is as close as I could get.
No, I mean like the golden circle, like how it's not perfectly circle.
Oh. um for audio listeners, I showed him my second Kingsman tattoo.
That's a good size too.
Things I've never heard a woman say. But yeah, so and again,
Yeah,
like you know,
I out of those, I'd recommend Wolf of Wall Street's obviously good. Lincoln Lawyer's pretty good.
Magic Mike is excellent.
I have yet to see it. I
Highly recommended. That is directed by Steven Soderbergh, who did the Ocean's 11 trilogy and other films.
It must be my great love for Channing Tatum that I have not seen this movie.
Channing Tatum and Steven Soderbergh were the reasons I checked it out.
I don't know.
Check it out. It's great.
21 and 22 Jump Street tainted me. I've been tainted.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a this is like a giant cube of ice kind of way.
That, because I've listened to the audio commentaries, was ADR. The original joke was that looks like a big square of frozen water, and people just didn't get it. It was just a little too much,
a little too far out there.
Yeah.
And Interstellar, I definitely recommend Interstellar. But I also love Christopher Nolan, so I guess here we are. So
I've seen like 30 minutes of it just at my chiropractor's office one time.
It's a slow build up, and then it really, once you start getting the last like hour, it's a 3-hour movie. Once you get in the last hour, it really starts turning. The Christopher Nolan gears really start kicking in. I would say it's fairly straightforward for the first 2 hours. So,
well, I'll reiterate: Magic Mike, yes. Wolf of Wall Street, yes. It makes me want to be a worse person for like a week after I see it. Does. And then Tropic Thunder, not the director's cut, not the director's cut or unrated cut or whatever. The theatrical cut is the best. They cut out just a bad scene. Don't go director's cut with that one. But Tropic Thunder is excellent. And there's this really weird part where they CGI, I think, Matthew McConaughey running faster. It's so strange.
I mean, Tropic Thunder is hilarious. Yeah. Hilarious.
And you get Matthew McConaughey and Jack Black reuniting. Yep. Which everyone was clamoring for after this film, even though Tropic Thunder came out before that. But
wait, Tropic Thunder came out before this movie?
2008, and this is 2011.
Whoa.
Right?
I mean, I guess they're also trying to present that this is 99. So, I mean, they try and make it look a little older. But, I mean, I would have thought this Tropic Thunder was newer than this movie.
Seriously, especially since Tropic Thunder came out the same year that Charlie Bartlett did, and Iron Man, all Robert Downey Jr. And, dude, it was so weird. I think like a year ago, people rediscovered Tropic Thunder and they were like, Robert Downey Jr. did blackface.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, context.
That's the entire joke.
Yeah. It's like, that's the one time that I've been like,
they told you before it happened.
Yeah. It's like that. It's a scathing indictment on on actors who take it too far. That's the point. It's not I mean, it's funny seeing him get called out by everyone around him, but Jesus Christ, like, especially since this is the first time, and I've been so proud of Gen Z that I was just like, you all know that context matters. You're smarter than this. Don't have boomer brain right now. Fucking look it up.
Take a second, watch the movie.
Yeah, just
don't hear one sentence and ruin somebody's life over it. Watch the movie.
Also, especially since in the context of a movie, it's not the same as Justin Trudeau having done blackface at a party. And you know, those deserve conversations where it's like, Yikes. What a douchebag when he was younger. Philip DeFranco would say he was a douchebag when he was younger too. Has he grown? That's the question. But anyway. Yeah, this was a delightful movie. It's free in so many places.
Yeah,
like
ton of places.
I know IMDb TV will probably like give you so many ads you'll have a seizure. But on
Hulu will too.
Hulu probably if it's on there. But like Peacock, you don't even need an account, I don't think, to watch it for free. I watched 60 seconds of ads at the beginning of the movie and then never again the whole movie. It was great. So check it out on Peacock. That's probably the best way.
YouTube, Peacock, Vudu, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV if you have it, Apple TV if you have it.
Or if you want to buy it, affiliate link in the description.
I don't even know if there's a DVD release of this thing.
Oh, I guarantee there's got to be. Here, let me see. There's
a DVD. Yeah, $4.
Yeah, it's also
there's a Blu-ray, $5. Oh, and then you get to Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, I gotta search up Bernie Jack Black. Yep, there's a DVD. So if you want to own it, you can. I'm sure. Don't quote me on it, but Linklater seems like the kind of guy to put good special features in his discs. If he's anything like Kevin Smith, then yeah.
Well, considering the guy lived with him for a little bit too, I mean, he's got to have more background information.
That's fucking wild.
I mean, not only did he write the screenplay, he also directed the movie. So he's got to have. You basically got to spend 2 years with this guy. You've got to have background information.
You have to be too fascinated with somebody to do this.
I wouldn't let anybody who killed somebody like that live in my house for 2 years while they're on parole. On probation, whatever. Especially when he admits to it. He admitted to killing her.
I mean, that if he didn't admit it, that would be worse for me in my book.
It's still bad in my book.
But yeah, one, we wouldn't be fascinated enough with this guy to write and direct and edit or supervise editing and release and this whole thing. You really have to be obsessed. And I don't know, you gotta sympathize. So Richard Linklater, if Bernie had killed Richard Linklater, I'd be like, Richard Linklater stood no chance. He must have loved the guy to make this movie with such care and tenderness towards him. He never stood a chance. But I'm glad he didn't kill him.
Yeah, me too.
Because Boyhood hadn't come out yet.
Just blows my mind.
By the way, anyone who wants to laugh, look up Porn Stars Boyhood Oscars or something like that. Because there's a bunch of, I think it was Funny or Die or something, or College Humor, that got a bunch of porn stars, I think nude, and blurred out their privates. And it was all these porn stars. I don't think it was for award season, but they were shitting on 50 Shades of Grey. They were like, skip 50 Shades of Grey. Watch Boyhood, because it's truly a story about us all. And if you want to watch something nasty, watch porn. It's not censored. You could say, I don't know, they jiggled their boobs or something. It was just a hilarious Funny or Die type sketch talking about Boyhood. And to not waste your time with 50 Shades of Grey. And I fucking loved it. Still haven't seen 50 Shades of Grey. It came out the same weekend as Kingsman. So
of course you didn't see it.
Oh, fuck. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, no fucking way. Kingsman boys. But yeah.
Yeah. Linklater is also a vegetarian. So there you go.
I'm not fully a vegetarian. I eat ramen with the sauce, with the packets, which I guess has bone in them.
Oh, bone marrow or whatever.
And I have fish oils. So
yeah,
I'm a 99.99999% vegetarian.
Pescatarian. Just call it a day.
Just because of that joke and tag of pescatarian, they're
What
both
joke?
weird. Remember at the wedding when he's like, "What religion is it? Pescatarian." Oh, that's the one where they don't eat fish. It's like I don't know. They're all psychotic or something. It is like Episcopalian or pescatarian.
Oh, I got it.
It's like they're all weird. But no.
I just like the commercial where the little girl goes up to her mom's she's on her cell phone. Oh, I'm pescatarian now, and just walks away, and the dad's like, "Wait, what?"
What
like
commercial?
I think it's a Verizon commercial. It's a cell phone
Oh,
commercial.
okay.
A little girl goes up to her mom and dad and is like, "Oh, I'm pescatarian now," and just walks away, and her dad's confused. And I think her mom looks up recipes or something like that on her phone for pescatarians or something like that. So
I just laugh anytime someone's like, "I'm vegetarian. I eat fish." I'm just like,
yeah,
"Fuck off."
it's easier to explain. Just it's easier to explain. I'm vegetarian, but I'll eat fish. Call it a day.
But yeah, there was never a time that I was bored. Let's say that. I think the way I phrased it, there's not going to be peaks and valleys of like tension and release like a normal movie. I still never was bored. I mean, I hope you've watched it if you're listening to this. I should have said that in the non-spoiler section. But
Especially considering it's so easy to see.
yeah,
Just
but
it's so many places.
yeah, I mean, it's a true story. So anything we said is like technically not spoilers because it's out in the world. It's reality. Um, but
And
yeah,
it happened like 25 years ago at this point.
yeah. The one thing I'll say was funny is that they started off with all these glamorous trips and then they ended up like showing them at the taco place or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, because they went to and like the gossip is like, oh, she went to Shreveport, and I know she went to the lingerie store, and she got a see-through shirt that you could see her boobs in. At her
Yeah.
age, who wants to see those things?
Or her chewing refried beans 25 times. Like,
Yeah,
you know that's like nails on chalkboard. Okay, just keep doing
yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, that's excessive. So I could understand somebody snapping at that. So
it.
if you snap because somebody chews their refried beans 25 times each, you're okay in my book.
I get how it all happened.
Yeah, no, I definitely do too. But I mean, for me, there's just so many points where he could have just walked away. And I understand the pressure and everything mounting of you potentially getting all this money and stuff like that. And so I understand why you'd want to do it. But at the same time, like you, once you get to that point where killing somebody or inheriting their money, you should just walk away. If you have to determine whether or not you're going to kill this person, you should just walk away.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, solid joint for me.
Yes, yeah, solid.
Or
Definitely one time watch.
yeah. Well, this this is gonna be weird as the outro, but this movie may be a joint or
Joint.
but either way, this movie is dope.
Dope.
These movies are dope. Yeah. Again, put out your suggestions in those places, Instagram, Spotify. And once Anchor can figure out how to do the video uploads without taking away monetization and taking it off the Anchor app for some reason, there'll be video versions. Other than that,
you could see this new Kingsman tattoo.
yeah. And if you want to join the Discord, come over, talk movies, and nerd out. I promise the Kingsman stuff is going away soon. As I detox.
I was gonna say after they make movies 5 and 6 or 4 and 5.
Oh yeah. Ooh. The new blood or the blue blood, whatever that means. Fingers crossed. All right.
Means Harry's coming back blue.
I think
as a Smurf.
I think the proper third one's supposed to be the last time Harry and Eggsy come back.
Yeah, I know Eggsy was supposed to be in it because he had already said that he was already I forget what his name is, Egerton or whatever, is actually going to be in the
Aaron
movie.
Egerton.
So, yeah, so he's confirmed to be in the fourth movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. The script's been. They were supposed to film back to back. Okay. Blue Blood, a person of noble birth.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
maybe Eggsy recruits some other princes.
Or maybe he has a child.
I kind of want. I would.
Because his kid would be noble because she is noble.
I like that. Maybe Eggsy becomes Arthur. I don't know. Age him up.
Yeah, age him up, age him out.
Kingsman the cursed child.
What is Harry Potter now? Get out of here.
Yeah, no, not Harry Potter because we respect. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do the easy insult of Joe Rowling.
Nope.
Okay, we already did the outro. Bye everybody.
Bye.